Money runs out tomorrow at midnight, but the House is set to vote today on a bill to keep agencies running through December 22nd. Funding will also be at the top of the agenda when President Trump meets with congressional leaders today. The president warned on Wednesday that a shutdown could happen, but the White House later said the president was anticipating productive talks.
Also happening today, a big announcement from Senator Al Franken after losing support from many fellow Democrats. Franken is widely expected to resign amid growing allegations of sexual misconduct, but his office insists he has not made a final decision yet. Dozens of Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and the party chairman, are now calling on Franken to step down as two more accusers come forward.
They're saying he should resign.
And I get no pride or pleasure in saying that.
I think today's revelations just further add to a fact pattern here that's just unacceptable.
One of the new accusers said Franken tried to forcibly kiss her in 2006, and another woman claims he groped her at a party 8 years ago. That brings his total number of accusers to at least 8.
The international community is blasting President.
Finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital.
In 1995, a resolution was passed to do just that, but it had been waived by all previous American presidents due to fears it would spark violence in the region, making any peace talks impossible. Already, various Palestinian factions have called for 3 days of rage. No other country in the world has its embassy in Jerusalem. Widespread condemnation and concern from the Pope to regional leaders. Palestinian leaders saying it could lead to wars that will never end. The Turkish foreign minister called it a grave mistake, and European leaders dismayed. Britain's prime minister called it unhelpful to the peace process, and French President Macron saying it was regrettable. And 8 countries, including the UK and France, have called for an emergency UN Security Council meeting. Across the Middle East, protests, Palestinians burning the US and Israeli flag. Israel, though, applauded the decision and said there is no peace that doesn't include Jerusalem recognized as the capital, a belief President Trump agrees with.
We're no closer to a lasting peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinians. It would be folly to assume that repeating the exact same formula would now produce a different or better result.
The president said the U.S. is committed to helping find lasting peace in the Middle East as the vice president heads to the region in the coming days. But the Palestinian president said with this move, the U.S. shows they are no longer committed to the peace process. Candace, Diane.
And the vice president heads to Jerusalem in 10 days. Serena, thank you. A British man is in custody on charges he assisted in planning an attack on 4-year-old Prince George. He allegedly used an encrypted message service to send extremists a photo of the prince and the address of his preschool. Now, prosecutors say the phrase, "Even the royal family will not be left alone," was written next to the photo. The man allegedly also planned to go to Syria to join ISIS.
The mystery surrounding who dished out a record $450 million for a Da Vinci painting has been solved.
Yeah, so the proud owner of Salvador Mundi's is reportedly a Saudi prince. According to the New York Times, the painting will be hung in Abu Dhabi in a newly opened branch of the Louvre.
The Times report says the prince claims to have gotten the money to buy the painting from real estate.
Okay, so
Actually have the money to back it up, even though he put down, I think, $100 million deposit.
Wow.
Before the auction even started, just to participate.
But they think he wanted like a layaway plan after that?
I don't know, but I guess he's doing just fine financially.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, coming up, the First Lady goes on a burger run. So the question, how does she like it?
Well done. Any cheese? Grilled or flame broiled? But first, also in Texas, the wild shootout during a road rage incident.